I wanted to talk about something that recently happened to me, and I didn't know how I was going to go about it. I didn't know whether I was going to write about it, whether I was going to speak about it, or if I was going to do anything at all about it. But I feel like this is a really important topic to talk about because um, so often the people who know of what goes on in our lives, it's a small circle, and really it needs to be projected upon to others' lives in a positive way, not in a negative way. And when I say the word project, it kind of brings something up to me because it brings up things of what this word I'm going to say in just a second about a certain type and group of people. It could be someone in the workforce, it could be someone in your family, it could be someone in a relationship with you, friendship-wise, and it also can be people in relationship-wise, someone who is intimate with you in another area, aspect, and form when it comes to an actual relationship with another individual. In my case, a male. And I've had friends that have also been a part of this group, but my most recent encounter, my most recent experiences that have produced trauma in my life the most are men excuse me, who have narcissism as a quality. And it was just tonight that I had been reminded of this specific song. And I would sing it like crazy. I remember memorizing it and singing it literally memorizing it, repeat. And it's by Noah Cyrus, and it's called July. And I'm gonna read it, and then I will speak on it. So she says, I've been holding my breath. I've been counting to 10 over something you said. I've been holding back tears while you're throwing back beers. I'm alone in my bed. You know, I'm afraid of change. Guess that's why we stay the same. That's important. So tell me to leave, I'll pack my bags, get on the road. Find someone that loves you better than I do, darling, I know. 'Cause you remind me every day I'm not enough, but I still stay. Feels like a lifetime just trying to get by while we're dying inside. I've done a lot of things wrong, loving you be one, but I can't move on. You know, I'm afraid of change. Guess that's why we stay the same. So tell me to leave. I'll pack my bags, get on the road. Find someone that loves you, that gives you all of the things I could not know. 'Cause I keep fighting all of the way I let you down so I could stay. If you want me to leave, then tell me to leave, and baby, I'll go. You remind me every day I'm not enough, but I still stay. So, in my most recent experience, what's been bothering me, and this is not just one experience I have experienced this in many relationships, and this person actually acknowledged this, which confused me because a narcissist doesn't typically know that they're a narcissist. Actually, like 100% of the time, they'll never admit they're a narcissist because they don't, there's a block or a conditioning from the childhood or adolescent wounds, which your imprint period is between infancy to 8 years old. So what you experienced as your normal growing up, if it was chaos, then chaos is your normal. If it was fighting, fighting is your normal. If it was love and care, compassion, security, safety, then that's your normal. You don't expect anything less than what you were given in that age group, statistically. Which I'm an empath, so I've been able to learn and understand that. And so when someone comes to me and they have trials and they have struggles and things along that nature, I am a typical person that wants to help, and I want to help inform, and I want to help engage, and I want to help so that you can understand and learn and learn to love and learn to live to love. But that also can be really damaging to someone who sees that independence, someone who sees that kindness. And this recent person actually said, your kind is attracted to my kind. And I was like, I don't understand that. What does that mean? And then they said, I'm a narcissist. Well, typically narcissists will never, ever, ever, ever give you a resume of who they are and what they're going to do to you and what they're going to do and treat you as. So for someone to say that, I was like, thank you for saving me the time that I would have still partaken in trying to understand and love. And I really struggle with saying that a narcissist is incapable of love, because I'm like, everyone's capable of love, you know? Like, but if you were never given that in the right context, then you don't know what love is. So then you're incapable of it in a healthy form and context. And so when I heard that song come on my soundtrack, after I'd been like, what do I do? Do I write about this? You know, like, what do I do? And then that song came on, and I was like, I absolutely have to talk about it. Because if you're being told that you're not enough, either by words, actions, any other area and region that you could be shown, that you're not enough and yet you still stay, tell me to leave and then I'll go. Okay, so then what happens is you get told to leave, and then you go, and then they come back, and then you're like, oh, you want, you know, like, there's an insecurity in my aspect, and there's an insecurity in their aspect. And my aspect of insecurity was, let me mean something. That doesn't mean that I didn't grow up in a household where I was known, seen, and loved, because I was. I grew up in that household, but I had a trauma. I had traumas that happened at 14, which is still a young age, because I feel like 14 is like where you're kind of figuring it out. Like, you went from elementary to now middle school, and middle school, then we'll go into high school, and then, like, you know, it's that sense of belonging. And so there was a cracking and a breaking and a crumbling at 14 in my life. And in that cracking and breaking and crumbling, my definition of love was shifted, because it was more conditional. It was, how can I mean something to you that will make you stay? How can I mean something to you that will captivate you by who I am? And in all of my writings and my journals, it was always, how can I be captivating? I just want to be captivating to someone. But I did not have that self-worth. I did not know myself. I did not understand my identity in Christ. I didn't know any of that, because everything was shaken, twist, turned. And then I looked for people who didn't have quality, because I didn't see quality in me. And at 32, because of my traumas and because I haven't fully healed from them, you know, if God wants to bless you, he sends you a person. And if Satan wants to curse you, he sends you a person. And it's that discernment of, because he comes as an angel of light, Satan does. He doesn't come with the horns and the red and the devil. And he can be just straight up evil. But in my life, it's usually men who I want to seek validation from, because I want to be loved. I think at the core of us, we want to belong. We want to be loved. And if not given that, we seek it. And so I sought it. And then I found it, or it found me. And then I started questioning it. So, what I wanted to say is that in my life, I have been a victim of overt narcissism, which is somebody who is a bully, somebody who is flat out, which, like I said, they never give you resumes, so at first it's not like that. At first it's love bombing. But then once they get you like hook, line, and sinker, and there have been people in my past that I'm like, I was literally afraid of them. And then me knowing who I am now, I'm like, how could I have ever been afraid of them? Like, why? Why was I afraid of them? Why was I afraid of saying no? Why was I afraid of this and that and all the other stuff? Like, I don't understand that. But then here's me right now in my life, these past 6 months, dating someone who was a covert narcissist, which was a love bombing in a different way. And I look good, and I know, and I'll, like, all of these different things that just blow my mind that I fell for. But he wasn't mean. Unless it was like side comments here and there that were like uppercuts. But then it was like, oh, well, with that bad and with that negative, because I'm an empath, so it's like, well, then he, he made up for it because of this kind act he did. Or, oh, this letter he wrote. Or this sweet thing he did. Oh, he cried when I cried. He showed emotion. And narcissists don't show emotion unless it's a benefit to them. What I wanted to say in all of this is that if you feel like you're not enough, and you're being told you're not enough, and there's something deep within you, in your spirit, that you are not enough, that's a lie. And the song that came after this July song was by Hillsong, and it was I Am Who You Say I Am. Who does God say you are? Who does he say you are? And that's what I need to take my basis on. And then if somebody else comes in and then does these little uppercuts here and there, and like these little side stabs here and there, like, I don't know why. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know why I allowed it. But I allowed it because I wanted to see the best. You don't look for the potential, you look for the present. And as my dad says, if you're in a dating relationship, you put your best foot forward, because that's going to show you what the marriage is going to look like. And if you have to compromise and compromise and compromise, there's a healthy compromise, but there's also a really negative compromise. And if you're negatively compromising with someone who demands you to bow down to their needs, and then puts you in a position where you have to choose the things that you actually love and treasure over what they want, like, there is unhealthiness going on there. I really wanted, in this whole video, I just really want to make a statement saying that it is not okay, it is not acceptable, it is not all right to be treated in any way, shape, or form less than the worthiness of we deserve, the quality that was within us. And if there's that doubt and that, like, I have to like literally question, like, is that right or is it wrong? No, like, love is not it's not simple. It's hard because love is patient, love is kind. Patience in the New King James Version is long suffering. So love is actually long suffering in a healthy manner. It is not suffering at the sake of your name, suffering at the sake of your worth, suffering at the sake of losing everyone around you because you're choosing someone who somehow gotten in your head, twisted and contorted what is right and what is wrong. I don't know how to fix it other than to align who I am with what God's word says I am. That's how I fix it. And it's releasing that hold and soul tie and negative core belief, because we behave as we believe. So it's really asking, what do I believe about myself somewhere along the lines that I was worthy or worth this treatment? And it all comes down to childhood wounds. It really does. Or adolescent wounds. And sometimes even adult wounds. Because you don't always have to have childhood wounds. You could have adolescent wounds and adult wounds. How somebody treats you and how you received it. And what had happened to you. But it's finding healing in the proper context. And the only way to true healing is not through self. It's through the maker of who we are. And so in this process, I'm like, I hear this song and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, it's so real that there's a problem, there's a cancer in this, where it's only if you tell me to leave, I'll leave. But other than that, I'm going to stay, regardless if you show me and tell me and treat me as if I'm not enough, regardless if you dismiss me and you only care about you, and like you dig my grave while I'm alive and you're going to push me in it, and you're a bully, no matter if you're an overt narcissist or a covert narcissist. Narcissism is manipulation at its best. And there is wounds there that a person has to literally deal with on their own, which they may never do because usually narcissists never admit they are. But we have a choice. And sometimes we have to be forced to make that choice, because I believe I would have totally just been like kept giving grace and grace and grace and grace upon grace and grace upon grace. And forgiving someone is everything. And giving grace after that forgiveness is everything, but boundaries are also everything. And if someone does not respect your boundary of who you are as a person, an individual, the fact that you're living, breathing, have a heart, you are a human just like them, but they may be incapable of it because of their conditioning from their childhood, you've got to walk away. And it's hard, and it's painful, and you sit there and you wonder, what did I do? What did I not do? It's not a you thing. It's not a you thing. And if there is a you thing that makes you attracted to that type of person, there needs to be healing. Yes. But do not personalize somebody else's behavior based on their lack of receiving something, based on their parents' lack of receiving something, based on that parent's lack of receiving something. You cannot be the one to fix anything. My personal experience right now has been, it's like deafening, because it's like, how do I mean one thing and then all of a sudden I'm a nothing? Like, that makes no sense. But it's not that you're not a nothing. You are not a nothing. You are a something. You are a somebody. You are a human with a beautiful heart that beats, that demands respect. Respect in a beautiful way, not respect in I am a God and you respect me. You matter. And if you're dealing with any form of narcissism that's super abusive and you know it's toxic, and you know within your soul somehow, even if you don't feel like you're worthy, but you know there is a worth within you, reach out to someone, please. Reach out to someone that you can trust, who loves you, who sees you and adores you, and you fight. And you fight with the love of God by your side. He's the only one that can get through you. He can get you through this, because narcissism, it's a pandemic everywhere. Not an epidemic, it's a pandemic. Power. Don't diminish my power. Don't diminish my awe and respect of this human being. No, you're worthy of so much more. Please know you are so much more worthy than that. And you are loved with the deepest and most purest form of love. And you don't get that love from another human being. You get it from your Jesus.